Good day. I am Christine Goc-ong, and today we're gonna talk about the dimensions of human person. The dimensions of human person. The person is a multidimensional being. I propose that we think of person as a focal point where all of these dimensions converge. The person is a unity, but there are several ways to observe this unity, and several dimensions to which the person is open is in relation. Each of these dimensions or aspects of a person must be named and brought to consciousness. Without awareness of one or more dimensions of human person, we remain ignorant of the particular relational aspect of being human, and as a result fail to observe the actual or potential presence of a good and evil that is relevant to the dimension. I have here the four types of the dimensions of human person. First, a person is intentionality. Affirming that we exist as intentional beings in relation to everything implies that there are human relationships that are not always obvious to the average observer. Some spiritualists, on the other hand, believe that we exist in relation to an entire spirit world, whether it be the spirit of the trees, the land, and the water, or the spirits of our ancestors. Person as intentionality, it is what you are intention to relation of what you believe, because as human persons, we have different beliefs and we have language to express our feeling with manner that is comprehensible for all human persons. Speaking as a personal God who not only communicates but to join an event without insensitive. Second is relation to the material world. Our existence in the material world is not insignificant for moral reflection. Our daily commerce with reality makes us keenly aware of the limitations that we experience with respect to our best aspirations. This is only so much to go round, only so many resources, that sometimes the challenges of poverty and deprivation appear to be beyond our capabilities. Relation to the material world, however, the material world of which we are so intimately a part is also something to which we have a relationship. Because we are so reliant on the air we breathe and the water we drink, we have a tendency to regard these things as separate from our existence. This is good in the instance that is allow us to use the material world, to humanize the natural world, and to create user-friendly environment for all people. But we must be careful not to fall into the trap of believing that the material world is an arbitrary object to which we can freely manipulate. Third, person as cultural. An adequate consideration of the human person draws our attention to the observation that just about everything that we might consider necessary to specify our humanity is dependent upon our social, cultural existence. Perhaps the most fundamental aspects of this entire human relationally is language, the basic tool of the relationally itself. Person as cultural observation. If you are talking to other person in different place, you need to interconnect because that person has different culture and environment. You as a cultural person, it has consideration because you can understand the person based on his or her culture. Fourth, person as historical. History, it is the most human sense, focuses on the present, which derives its meaning from both the past and the future. We inherit our culture from the past and develop our personal, even individual identity. We describe the significance of our current decisions and activities in the future. History then is always created, both culturally and socially. This also applies to morality. Person as historical. History deriving identity in the present and build upon the past and orient towards in the future. This identity determines our behavior, but it would be unwise to ignore its possible relevance. Making promises, for instance, should always be done with this in mind. Human persons who make commitment to each other should realize that the nature of personal commitment involves not simply the person as they appear in the present, but also as they will be in the future.